Hi, I'm Avery Davidson.
And I'm Kristen Oaks-White. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. The LSU Tigers played their first home game in September, and Alligator season is coming up in September as well. But before that, did you know that there's another season for them?
Oh yeah, there's collecting alligator eggs, and it's the first step in raising alligators on the farm. This week, TWILA's Neil Malawson joins LSU's interim president to show us how this successful partnership of farming and conservation is helping keep this Louisiana icon thriving.
You might think being president of a university means you're occasionally up to your neck in alligators, but for LSU's Matt Lee, it's literally true today. He's out here at Live Oak Plantation to physically ward off gators as Louisiana Sea Grant's Mark Shirley shows him how to harvest gator eggs. While this is no fun for the mama gator, it's ultimately a good thing for alligator preservation.
Also, the value goes to the landowner to keep that land wet, wild, and good not only for alligators, but all the other wildlife that's out here, the ducks, the frogs, even the mosquitoes and the little fish. Okay, so it's good for wetland conservation as well as supporting our economy.
Lee says he's learned that the hides of gators represent a significant impact to Louisiana's economy.
The alligator industry in our state is about $100 million a year industry. It plays into the food production industry as well as the alligator skin production industry and so forth. And so here we're getting an education about how it is that we collect alligator eggs and the role of conservation ensuring that we maintain a robust commodity sector in that area.
That $100 million goes far beyond the consumer end of things. It directly impacts the farmland of Louisiana, making it stronger and more sustainable.
This agricultural land is right on the edge of the marsh. They have a healthy alligator population. So that money that they get from the egg collection goes back into their operation. Now, the coastal marsh landowners, where the eggs are picked up, they need some money to repair the damage of hurricanes and floods and stuff. So the alligator resource gives those landowners that annual income to pay for a water control structure that needs to be replaced, to repair some levees.
In addition to helping farmers and conservation, Lee says this industry provides a living laboratory for LSU students so the next generation can be educated on all Louisiana has to offer.
We definitely provide opportunities for students to come out to get experiences like this where they're seeing wild animals in their natural habitat and at the same time essentially getting lectures on wildlife biology and getting a sense of how these ecosystems work and how we preserve and conserve them so that future generations can enjoy them.
The eggs you see here represent one of the most successful public and private partnerships for conservation in history, much less in Louisiana. Now, these eggs will go on to farms to become gators for meat and leather, but some will return to the waters here at Live Oak Plantation to become the next generation for a sustainable future. Reporting from Live Oak Plantation, I'm Neil Malawson.
The eastern zone of alligator season begins on August 27th, while the western zone begins September 3rd. Once again, we're taking you across the Atlantic Ocean for this year's 4-H trip to Ireland.
Let's see what TWILA's Carl Wiggers and Josh Meeks found in this week's edition of TWILA in Ireland.
Welcome to Waterford, Ireland. Along the southern coast, County Waterford is believed to be one of the oldest counties in all of Ireland, founded more than 1,100 years ago when the Vikings made landfall. And it's also home to a very popular crystal.
That's right. I think LSU has 2 of them in their trophy rooms back in Baton Rouge. Waterford, for the course of a few days, served as our base of operations of sorts. As we toured a lot of farms around this area, we started in the heart of dairy country.
This is cow heaven. All that green means plenty of food for dairy cows. Good food leads to good milk. Happy cows, happy customers. This truck is filling up its twice weekly haul of milk, about 6,600 gallons worth.
It's a kind of a defined system. You calve your cows in the spring of the year. When the grass is being produced, your cows are calving for that time. So you're aiming for your production cycle for the spring of the year, and so you calve in February, March, and then you go to grass, and it's one seasonal, very seasonal system, you know.
Liam Hennessy is the man responsible for these 250 head of cattle. His family has been farming this land for 6 generations. His son will be the 7th.
It's a way of life. That's what it is, exactly. You love it. We don't know any different. We don't know any different, and don't want to know any different.
Dairy farms are booming in Ireland. Hennessy says the co-op structure, mild climate, and a big name like Kerrygold butter is keeping many milk trucks full.
There are 5 million people in this country, and there's more cows than people. Well, there's not, but you know.
And it's not all that different in Ireland compared to the States. He practices rotational grazing so that the lush green landscape stays just that.
Say in the spring of the year, you start out and you set your system, you cut so much proportion of your grass out for silage, maybe 60% of your area, you graze 40%, and as the grass declines, as the year goes on, then you bring more of the silage back into your system, you know.
And just like over here, there's a lot of red tape from the government.
Trying to tread that needle all the time, yeah. One of the biggest challenges is there's no defined thing. They're changing the goalposts every year. There's a new rule and a new rule and a new rule. If they start at the beginning and tell us where we're going, at least you can make plans accordingly.
And while his son will one day take over the farm, Hennessy does say he's worried about the future of Irish agriculture in general.
For young people, if they want the chance, I think, and they really want to do it, I think the opportunity is there to do it, you know. And I think it will be there because food is always going to be wanted. And if you do the thing right, I think you'll be rewarded in time, you know.
You know, I'm pretty sure if you asked AI to generate a Irish dairy farm, that's what you would get.
Yeah, I think so. Everything is just so picturesque. Farm to farm, every one of them looks just like a postcard. And as these kids found out, it tastes just as great.
Before the food can hit the table, it must be grown in a field like this. And before the feast, these students got a first-hand look at what it takes to deliver the groceries at Redmond Farm. Here, students like Abby LeBlanc from Vermilion Parish helped plant a new crop of cauliflower.
So right now we're planting plants. It's kind of stressful a little bit because I want to make sure I do it right.
That's because this produce will eventually end up at one of the 2 hotels owned by the same farm family.
Okay, that makes my heart a little happier.
I know exactly what I'm doing. Done this a time or 2.
Andrew Dozat is no stranger to the dirt. His family farms in Avoyelles Parish. He was so excited to get to work on the farm, even if it was just for a couple of hours.
You know, like I said, one thing just to see it, but to actually get your hands dirty and be a part of it is amazing. I mean, just getting there, digging in the dirt, planting plants, and just saying that you're contributing to a part of their agriculture and just getting the full experience. Really enjoyable.
Abby says this experience really makes her appreciate the work it takes to put food on the table.
It really does. This is a lot of hard work. Props to them for this. I wouldn't choose to do it, but if I'm told to do it, I would gladly do it because it's actually not as hard as I thought it would be. So I'd say it's pretty fun.
Andrea McCann is a horticulturist at Redmond Farm. She leads the group in the field in an experience that has a real impact down the road, both for the students and for whomever finds this food on their table.
It's just special to be able to share with them my love of soil, my love of producing food in a field from soil, not from aquaponics or hydroponics, both of which have their own great merits. They know that what they have planted will be harvested in 6 or 8 weeks' time. It'll be going into a hotel to go on a plate for somebody's wedding, somebody's christening dinner. They'll be responsible for producing that food.
Both Abby and Andrew were amazed and grateful for such an incredible experience, even if it did mess up someone's back-to-school manicure.
Sorry, Andrew, you can't do it.
Yeah, manicure, I just got them done.
They are filthy.
It is crazy to think about. I mean, it's, you know, the opportunities through these great programs like 4-H is amazing. Without them, this would never be possible. I mean, this is not just the Ireland trip, this is an experience.
Okay. Or we'll just plant together, okay. It really is, and that's like what a lot of 4-H does for me, is that like even just like stuff to like meet new people, like it's always a new experience somewhere.
It was really great seeing these kids get down in the dirt, put their hands to it, and really experience agriculture here in Ireland, not just stand in a tour group and observe things, but really get hands-on. And that hands-on learning will continue next week as we travel to the west coast of Ireland and get to see a sheepdog demonstration and really learn about some new agriculture that maybe we don't see back at home. Until then, reporting from Ireland, I'm Carl Wiggers for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
And I'm Josh Meeks. Back to you guys.
You can see more from Josh and Carl's adventures in Ireland, including blog posts, pictures, and a brand new podcast with Hannah Duvall, one of the group leaders on the trip. All of that is available on our website at twilatv.org. Well, still to come on TWILA, we get a look at Ireland through the eyes of some of the 4-H'ers on the trip.
But first, we'll see how jasmine rice and crawfish stack up, literally, in the latest edition of Feasting on Agriculture.
You're watching This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week.
I'm Avery Davidson. On this edition of Feasting on Agriculture, we're going to follow jasmine rice from the laboratory to the field to your plate. You don't want to miss it.
Feasting on Agriculture is brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, think rice.
What do you do at the H. Rouse Caffey Rice Research Station?
So the research station here has been here for over 100 years, and I think the objectives of what we do really haven't changed in that time, but certainly the way we go about them has changed drastically. The main goals of this station is to support the Louisiana rice industry to be profitable, sustainable for now and in the future. A lot of the research and extension work we do here centers around production practices, so weed management, disease, insects, agronomy, fertility. And then another big part of what we do here is variety development to develop new varieties that will be useful for our industry. A new variety of rice just means basically like a different strain. It's still rice. Sometimes we want to make different types of quality for certain markets. They want a specific preference of the grain quality, the way it cooks, the way it smells, things like that.
What do you enjoy about developing new rice breeds, coming up with new rice breeds? Why do you do this, Ab?
I think it's very fulfilling when we develop new variety out of LSU and to see that grown and making an impact on the variety, hopefully being an improvement for the industry. Some of the specialty types like the jasmine are maybe a little bit more fun because it's not just trying to increase the yield, or it's less commodity focus, it's more of a food kind of consideration. Jasmine rice is a generic term for type of rice, typically historically from Thailand, but now produced throughout that region of the world. The rice station at LSU, probably 20 plus years ago, started taking some of that material from other places and breeding it into our locally adapted things so that it would grow here. If you take the Thai jasmine from Thailand, it'll never flower here because it's photoperiod sensitive. Our days are too long.
Fred, how are you, sir?
Hey, Avery, good to see you, man. Looking forward to this visit and glad that you could come out and enjoy the harvest with us.
Well, I'll tell you what, rice harvest is one of my favorite times of year. This is what, jasmine rice we're harvesting
This
here?
is jasmine, yeah. It's the aromatic that's gonna hopefully take the place of a lot of the imported rice that's coming in the United States. They've had several versions of it. The market demand is growing every year, hence the amount of acres grown, and it's a great rice to grow. It's very healthy. It's got that aromatic aroma and flavor to it, and it's becoming a tabletop for a lot of consumers here in the United States.
Well, you as a farmer, what do you like about growing jasmine rice, especially knowing that it was developed right where we just were over at the Rice Research Station?
Exactly. That's, I've always felt that that research station is second to none, and proud of it being so close to the farm and in our growing area.
We joke, my wife and I are both from the Northeast, Irish families, and we have kids who won't eat potatoes, and all they'll eat is rice. So I think growing up here has rubbed off on them that we go up back north to visit family, and the kids say, well, we don't eat potatoes, we don't like potatoes, where's the rice?
We've seen one side of the research, now we need to see the other side and the one that tastes great. We'll have that for you right after this. Staying with us here on Feasting on Agriculture. Now, you know that we saw the research being done over there in Crowley, but it doesn't stop there. It continues even here in Baton Rouge. Here with me is Mandy Armentar. She is a nutrition and community health extension agent with the LSU Ag Center. Mandy, tell me, what kind of research do you continue to do on rice after it's grown and developed?
Well, the tastiest part.
Okay.
We get to try recipes. We get to see how do recipes fit our Louisiana culture using rice as the main star of the ingredient, along with some of our other favorite fruits and vegetables that, and proteins like crawfish that, as you know, crawfish is a dual crop. A lot of rice farmers do grow crawfish as a way to help them through their economically through their farm and harvest. But rice and crawfish go great together.
Oh, yeah. If they grow together, you should eat them together, right? That's
Correct.
The way I think about it. What are we going to be making here, Mandy?
So we're going to be making a sushi stack, and it's a play on sushi, but more like a sushi roll deconstructed, but in a nice little stack. We're going to use cucumbers, we're going to use carrots, crawfish, of course rice. Throw in some seasonings. We're going to do some kung pao sauce, and then we're going to stack it all in a measuring cup. You're going to do the work, though.
Okay, I'm ready to do it.
And we are going to actually build them and then turn them over on a plate, and it'll be nice and pretty. Sprinkle it with a little sesame seeds and a little bit of soy sauce.
So tell me a little bit about the jasmine rice we're going to be using here. This is one that was developed there in Crowley. We just saw that before the break. What is, I guess, why go with the jasmine rice in this dish?
So, first of all, jasmine rice is very aromatic. It just smells your whole house up, smells the kitchen up. It smells so good. And so jasmine rice is also a little bit sticky. And so in traditional sushi, they use a short grain or a medium grain rice because it's sticky. Well, jasmine also sticks together like rice in sushi or Asian dishes. And so this is why we're using the jasmine. Not only does it smell good, tastes great, but it also has that sticky property to keep it together, our sushi stack together.
Should you rinse the rice beforehand?
Absolutely not. So rinsing the rice, what happens is rice is enriched after the milling process. The vitamins and minerals are added to it and through enrichment. And if you rinse the rice, you're washing off those added vitamins and minerals that are added back to the rice once it is milled. So we're going to step over, and I'm going to have you do this for me. So what we're going to do is we have a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, and 1.5 teaspoons of no salt Cajun or Creole seasoning. Find your favorite is what I say, but make sure there is no sodium in it. You're going to sprinkle this over our crawfish, and then we're going to mix it up with a fork. So you want to make sure that all of that is mixed well. Season our crawfish tails, and while you're seasoning and doing that, I'm going to heat up a skillet with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're going to saute those crawfish tails. What we're going to do is we're going to put them in this skillet, and you're going to actually stir them up, and we're going to cook them for about 5 to 6 minutes, just so the crawfish tails are fully done. Anyway, but now it's time to build. So we're going to get our hands dirty a little bit. Oh yeah, it's yummy. And you might want to pack it down just to kind of make sure everything kind of sticks.
Get my hands in there.
Well, why not? I mean, you are Cajun, and Cajuns cook with their hands.
Cook and talk with their hands.
Absolutely. And so, okay, the real magic is no pressure, Avery.
None, okay.
Okay, you're gonna flip this onto the plate. I probably would lift it that way.
I was gonna say, we could even do another trick.
Oh, go ahead.
This is one I do for cakes.
Oh, well, look at you.
Uh-huh.
Fancy.
You put the plate against that, and then now the magic is, does it come out?
It
Looky
does.
there.
It does. And so what we're gonna do, Avery, is I'm gonna take a couple of these little sesame seeds, kind of sprinkle them on top.
All right.
And so there you have your sushi stack, but we're gonna continue to build, Avery, and we're gonna fill this plate, and I think we might try some after a while. Huh?
I'm all for doing that. Let's do that.
Okay.
This is what I like, the tasting. This is where we find out how this jasmine rice, the crawfish, the cucumber, the avocado, the kung pao sauce, how that all comes together in a nice stack. Okay. For one, I love how aromatic the jasmine rice is.
Absolutely.
You smell it before you even taste it. Thank you for joining us for Feasting on Agriculture. We'll see you next time. I'm digging in.
Feasting on Agriculture was brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board. Think rice.
Time now for this week's TWILA Boost, and we're taking you back to Ireland so that you can see more from the Louisiana 4-H's big trip overseas.
While all month long we're showing you what Josh and Carl saw, now take a look at Ireland through the eyes of the kids on tour.
Those pictures really look good. Maybe we should hire them to be our photographers in the future.
I feel like we all might be out of a job very soon once they graduate college.
And it looks like they had a good time. And we had a good time here on TWILA because that does it for this edition of the show. Be sure to join us next week when we'll take you to Church Point, where if you want the berries, you pick them. Another success story from agritourism coming up.
Until then, you can watch all of our stories online at twilatv.org, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. You can also find all of these stories on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you know exactly when we put out some new content.
For all of us here at TWILA, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.